everybody. Welcome to our Hues and You event tonight, streaming in from all over the place. I've been watching the comments and already have a bunch of you commenting hello to all of you from all over. Like we've got some East Coast, we got some West Coast, we got some right in the middle. My name is Stephanie Richter, and I'm so happy to be one of your many host presenters tonight. I will be introducing them in a second. But what I would love to have you do as you join us tonight is to pop in and tell us where you're from and if who invited you, who got you on here today, what brought you here, and what do you want to learn tonight? What bugged you about your shades, about your cosmetic colors, about how color looks on you? Maybe things have changed for you and you're ready for something different, or maybe you're just so bored or confused, or all of the above. Well, we're here for you, and we're going to bring some value. We're going to bring some fun because I have some of the best with me tonight. So let me introduce you first to our spicy spring. This is our spicy spring. So Lindsay has been running her Mary Kay business, her beauty business, since she was 19. And you guys, I met her when she was 19. She's a delightful woman now, 16 years later. So 30 something, y'all can do the math on that. She is our spicy spring tonight. So welcome, Lindsay, all the way from Snohomish, Washington. Lindsay, what are you most excited about tonight?
Knowing what colors to wear without having to spend money on ones that don't work. I'm smart. Excited that you changed me from sassy spring to spicy because I'm feeling spicy tonight, y'all. Let's go.
I love it. I switched that around a couple times, so so spicy did stick. I thought that was
feels
good.
right. Feels right.
Oh, I'm so glad. Lenny is our wonderful winter, and she's here representing those of you in their 40s. You would never know that. Lenny left the corporate world 16 years ago also to be a beauty biz entrepreneur. She's a mama of 2 boys. Oh, I didn't say that about Lindsay. She's a mama of 2 girls. I'm so happy to have you, Lenny, all the way from way up north of us in the beautiful island, Whidbey Island, up near the San Juan Islands in the Pacific Northwest. So happy to have you on tonight, Lenny. What are you most excited about, Lenny, to bring to everybody tonight?
I am excited to be able to instill some confidence in our viewers to help them figure out what colors they're supposed to be wearing or what looks best on them, so that they can wear them confidently and know, like, this is a good color on me.
Yeah, confidence is huge when it comes to color, and just really being able to, bring your best out there without having to think. Like if I don't have to think about what's happening on my face or on my hair or whatever that I'm presenting, then I can just be doing what I'm supposed to be doing in my life, right? Super glad to have you, Lenny. Thanks for being on. I'm the sassy summer. So I switched from spicy summer, Lindsay, to sassy summer. I've been building my beauty business since I left teaching 34 years ago. I was 25. So you all can do the math. I just crossed over last week into the 60s, which is a little mind-blowing for me. I don't want to talk about it, but here we are. It's all good. I'm so happy to be here. I live north of Seattle in the town of Linwood, and I'm really excited to bring some empowerment. Like I really love to be able to equip women to make good choices. And that's what we want you to be able to do tonight. After we're all done here, that you're going to be able to make some choices that you feel not only confident about, like Lenny said, but also empowered when it comes to the whole palette. So we're going to set you up. And last but surely not least is our awesome Autumn. She's also a little spicy because she's wearing spiced ginger lip color tonight, which we all love on her. And so she's going to be our spicy ginger tonight. Awesome Autumn. This is Michaela. Michaela, you're in your 30s. You're not in your 30s. Did you change that?
I am in my 30s. I'm 30 now.
Stop it.
I can be 20. I can be in my 20s if you want me to be.
Stephanie is in denial on her age, and she's projecting that on you, Michaela.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It's so true. I'm projecting that on you, Michaela. Stop growing up. Okay, so she's in her 30s, but she's in her low 30s, just so y'all know. And she's been a Mary Kay beauty pro, actually grew up in a Mary Kay home. So she has a really amazing story and heart for what we get to do in our businesses. But she's also the person that has created all this content you're going to see tonight. So excited to have you guys to be able to have Michaela on with us tonight. Been with Mary Kay for 30 years. She's making us look great behind the scenes here. So take it away, Michaela. So happy to have you. Oh, tell us what you're most excited about.
I'm most excited about getting rid of like photo regret. I don't know if anybody else has that, where you look back in a picture and you're like, ooh, I should not have been wearing that color. And so I'm excited about less of those and more of like, wow, I looked really good back then. So, yeah.
That's good. Photo regret. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, everybody.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. So I'm going to give us a quick, like 10,000 foot view of what you can expect. I will be your flight attendant of the night. So we're going to talk about the individual aspects of what makes up a beauty season, because for a long time I was really confused about what my beauty season was, because I didn't quite understand the aspects of what makes up a beauty season. So our gals are going to talk about how to look at your overtones, your undertones, your hair color, your eye color, and how to put it all together to figure out which colors are going to look good on you. And you're going to hear us talk a lot tonight about two things, about your beauty consultant and about Mary Kay. So first, what is a beauty consultant? If you are new to kind of our workshops and this Mary Kay lingo, beauty consultant is just somebody who has taken time to learn about color and skincare to figure out how to serve women best. So you don't have to stand in front of the wall of makeup, the wall of skincare. In fact, today my 3-year-old and I were at Target and she was looking over at the makeup. She goes, Mama, do we need to go in there? I'm like, no, we don't need to go in there, baby. Like, Mama doesn't need to go stare at makeup for 15 minutes trying to figure out which shade is going to look good and then be wrong when I get in the car and try it. So that's what your beauty consultant is there for, is to help figure out those fine-tune shades that look amazing on you. We're also going to be talking about a lot about Mary Kay products tonight, and that's because Mary Kay is our favorite. We found, products and shades that we love and that our clients love, but you probably have favorites too. So you'll be able to take what you love and use what we're learning tonight. But if you need new favorites and you're like, I don't like anything on my bathroom counter right now, we will have deals at the end. So stick around for those if you need new favorites. So that's what I got for you. I'm going to kick it back to Stephanie and Lenny, because Lenny has the most amazing story, and I think you are just going to love it. So, ladies, off to you.
She's got such a great story, and in parts of her story that we want to share tonight, just really briefly. And thanks, Lenny, for popping on tonight with us. Lenny, I've known Lenny since she very began her Mary Kay business. I got to be the one that to train her, and I don't get to take any credit anymore. Like, this woman has worked her business so beautifully in and around her family. You're an amazing mom. You're an amazing daughter. She has, we're in that season of life where she has littles at home, but she has an aging mom and a busy, busy life, and has really done an amazing job of balancing. Lenny, I just want to publicly praise you for that, because I'm so proud of you and inspired by you. But Lenny recently, so the reason I want Lenny to share with you all is, one, I want you to be inspired. Two, she recently went to a professional and had her colors done, so to speak. That's the best way I know how to describe that. I'll let you explain, and I'll let her explain the why behind it. So I have a few questions for you, Lenny. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Here we go. What caused you to seek out your beauty, the beauty professional that then helped you identify your actual beauty season?
So originally I wanted to find out, because my body shape has changed. And so in this last 2 years, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and the last year I've been cancer free. Thank Jesus. But I went through about a year of a ton of treatments, and I'm in remission, but it was a lot of chemo, radiation, surgeries, double mastectomy. And so my body shape is a lot different than it was 2 years ago. And I didn't know what kind of clothes accentuated or fit my body, my new body. And so I contacted somebody who was actually doing kind of like what best shapes are, what is your body shape, first of all, and then what best cuts of clothes kind of fit your body best, and a colorist. So I thought, okay, great. This is a good time to refresh, to reset, to purge my closet of things that no longer fit me well or no longer serving me, and really looking at finding some key favorites in my closet, and also some new colors for me, just to kind of see and gauge, like, what is it that I've been wearing that I love that serves me well, and what have I kind of not. If you've ever gone shopping for makeup, I mean, even us as consultants, we try a lot, and sometimes it's a hit and sometimes it's a miss. Sometimes
Yeah.
we come back to that miss thinking, but it's so in right now. I really want to like make this work, but it's not your best shade.
So now that you've learned those things, not only just about your body, but about, I know that you talked about that she taught you even like shades, and there were shades you never tried. You never would have even thought of trying. In fact, I think you have one of them on tonight. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So after learning that knowing your season, and you created the confidence, what happened in your shade choices? What did you do then when it came to, even as a beauty professional, already knowing what you knew? How did that change?
Well, it was interesting because it allowed me to purge things that I wouldn't have otherwise just like taken out of my makeup bag. It's just kind of like, oh, maybe I'll try it again later, right? You ever got those pieces of clothes where you're like, but I really love it. And so you try it on, but you never end up wearing it because it just isn't the best shape or color on you. And so it gave me that freedom to kind of really get rid of like, okay, let's clean this out, right? And like, it's okay to like throw that out.
Yeah.
We don't need to
Tell me
keep
what
it.
you said about, you told me something today. You just made me think of this. You said something about that color that I like to wear it, but what did you say about that? But it's maybe not my best or something. How did you navigate
There's
that?
also colors that we like that sometimes it would be fine. And if you confidently love that color, that's okay if it's not in your season. We don't have to be so legalistic about, okay, now I know my season, now I know my undertone, my hair color, my eye color, and these are the best colors on me. That's okay. There's always an exception to the rule. And there's always a color that you feel fabulous in, even not your best color. And that's
Yes.
okay too.
That's what I wanted to be sure we talked about tonight. We do not, our job here is to help you confidently pick color for your shade, your cosmetic shades. And we don't want you to feel like you're in a box. Like there is some leeway. Like and there's also, there's things also like just being able to uniquely be who you are. So we want you to be able to know that we're not putting you in your box. There is some leeway. There's going to be some, what did you just say? Exceptions to the rule. Exceptions to the rules. We're going to give you the rules. I'm not a rule follower. I'm all about like, so, but I do like to have wisdom, right? There's some wisdom in what we're gonna, guidelines. So one more question I have for you, actually maybe two. As a beauty professional, how have you applied this new knowledge in service to your clients?
So I am excited to offer more of a customized color palette for my customers, and also doing a refresh because if it's been a while since you've cleaned out and done a little makeover on your makeup bag, shake up your makeup bag, then you're due. And because we're changing seasons, your skin tone might be a little bit lighter. You might get away with some different colors or just veer towards some different colors. I'm just excited to get that refresh, it's time to refresh what's in my closet. I'm pulling the sweaters out, I'm putting the shorts away, but then also my makeup bag needs a refresh. And so it's been kind of liberating, but I'm also finding some colors that, like you said, I tend to veer towards and knew that they were pretty good because I love I am, and I have some. Thank you, Linda.
I just saw that.
Yeah. She said, are you aware of knitted knockers? Yes.
I love that.
But it allows me to find the shades I like and I tend to veer towards, but also find some that are similar but kind of new to me, and find some new ones that I love. Find some new go-tos, because sometimes we just get tired of those, like, every day, this is my everyday. This is just what I do. It's
great to have that, right? It's great to have that base. Like, this is what I'm in a hurry. I have my dash out the door look, but here are the things around that look great on me, that take me to that next place. And that's that confidence. And you bring that as a beauty professional. You get to now bring that confidence that you have to your clients. So what would you say? to those that are watching who may seem a little bit skeptical or overwhelmed about finding their season?
It's really not that difficult, and makeup is like art. It's fun. And so we get to kind of flex our artistic, muscle and
Yeah.
figure out what we like, what we don't like, what it should be, but also know that we can vary from that. We can kind of veer
Yeah.
off a little bit and make it our own, which I love. Um, It's
We
not a
lost Lenny.
tattoo, it's not permanent. We can take it off. Oh, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
that's
it's
right.
not
You're back.
permanent, it's not a tattoo. You can take it off if you don't love it, but I always say just rock it for a day, try it. This new lip color that I tried is not quite the pink. It looks kind of red on here, but it's a really deep fuchsia. It's called Berry Raspberry, and it's not one I would have tried before, but I love the way that it looks and feels. So
Yeah,
it's one
same.
that's gonna be in my rotation, and sometimes all it takes is just one change from your everyday dash out the door to make it kind of that new, refreshed, exciting, like, ooh, you did something different,
Yes.
but it doesn't have to be everything.
So let me ask those of you that are commenting, thank you to everybody that's commenting. Keep commenting. We love it. What feels overwhelming to you? Or maybe what feels that you've been a little skeptical about, or maybe something that you've really wanted to learn, you're excited about learning? Put it in the comments for us. We'll make sure we can take a peek at these as we're going along tonight. And even if you're watching this on replay, comment, because we'll be able to see those replay comments. So Lenny, we're so proud of you, so proud of you, and so inspired by you and by your story. Thank you for all that you do, and that you just give into the lives of those that you touch. I know many of the people that are on here are your clients and just people that have been inspired by you. So we love you. For sure. And just a little side note, I want to say, when I asked Lenny about that as a beauty professional, how she's applied her new knowledge to her clients, watch what we do tonight, you guys. Those of you that are watching as guests, I know some are watching as consultants. Some of you might be completely new to Mary Kay, or you haven't been exposed to Mary Kay in a very long time. We're a 61-year-old company. So, some of you maybe were exposed long time ago, but watch what we do tonight. There is so much opportunity happening with our business right now because of social media, because of e-commerce, and your consultant would be so happy to be able to share that with you. And we'll talk a little bit about that at the end, but I just wanted to give you a little heads up about that. So I'm going to pass it over to my sassy spring friend, Lindsay.
Love it. All right, everyone. Well, yes, keep commenting. If we don't yet know where you're from, drop it in, even if you're chatting with us later. We love to see that. It's like we're touching the whole nation here. So I get to talk about the first element of figuring out your season. So if you don't know if you're a spring, a summer, you're like, what are they talking about? Or maybe you had it done years ago and you wonder if you're still on track with that. So the first thing you kind of want to look at as you're going down this checklist. So you kind of imagine it as like a checklist, right? You're like going down the highway and you're like, okay, I go this way on this one. I go this way on this one. And you might have to go back and forth. In fact, I'm sort of the confused one where I thought I was something for 3 weeks and then I changed. And now I'm like, I don't know. And I could be what I want. So tonight I'm a spring, but there's a great chance I'm also a summer. So I'm one of the exceptions, depending on like how tan I am, or if I use subtle tanner and all these factors. So let's first talk about your skin tone. So one of the first identifiers you want to figure out is if you are a more warm or cool skin tone. Okay, so there's a couple different ways you can go about this. And then there's sort of this spot in the middle where it's neutral. So that's where you kind of get into the gray area. So ultimately, if we're black and white about it, we want to go more cool or warm. If indeed throughout this checklist, you're like, gosh, I'm even down the way, you might end up in the neutral, but we still want to know if you're neutral, which way your skin pulls just a little bit more is going to help you in picking your season and then your color. So with a cool tone, right, that's that pink. So you can kind of think about when you think about the sun, if you're cool, it's because you like to stay in the shade when you're in the sun because you burn. Okay, so if you are like, I burn, my skin tone burns, you're probably more that cool skin tone where you get a lot of pink easily. Or you're on the warm side where you're like, ooh, bathe me in the sun, lather me up in oil. That was me. And in that case, you generally tan, or maybe you kind of like I get a little bit of pink, but it deepens in color. So if you deepen in color and you kind of get that glow that might look more orangey or brown compared to the pink, that's going to be more in the warm category. So you're like, ooh, hard to tell. Okay, that's the first checklist. Do I tan or burn? Second way you could test this is by your jewelry. So if you even put on like a white shirt and have no makeup, and you hold up some gold jewelry to yourself, and you hold up some silver jewelry, like you can see in this picture, one is going to look really cheap and kind of like, the other is going to just look really nice, and it's going to even look more expensive. So, and I know that's kind of a funny thing to say about it, but it's sort of like when you look at it, the jewelry doesn't jump at you. It's like, wow, that looks so classy, so nice. And it might take you a couple times figuring this out, because sometimes you're like, I don't know. Your eye hasn't been trained to that. So this is like another piece of the puzzle you can sort of add to that. Another one I heard is the veins. Okay. So supposedly, I mean, if this is all, you're like, I'm everything, but in the rule category, which I love the rules, so I'll be the rule follower while Linny and Stephanie run amok doing whatever they please. The cool undertones are going to pull more of that purple and that blue in your veins. Okay. A neutral might be some blue and green. So you have the blue, but then you also have the green, and the green or olive are going to run over to the warm. So that would be another little category on your checklist. So this is like, which one do I have more in? Some of you are probably like, I totally know what I am now. And some are like, that didn't help at all. So again, this is category one. So if you're a note taker, have a little piece of paper, give yourself points for if you're cool or warm on your skin tone. Another great thing is if you schedule a time to get with your consultant, or maybe you're new, maybe you found your consultant through the workshop ad on Facebook, or you're just meeting her. But if you schedule with her, whether it's virtual or in person, she can take foundation samples and actually test the warm and the cool on your face, and it becomes very apparent which one you are through a foundation match. So that could be another option as well. All right, so the next category, dun, 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 Stephanie.
Hair. I got the hair. Can you tell why I got the hair? Because hair changes. So Lindsay talked about an identifier as your skin tone. So another identifier of your season is your hair color. Now, hair color is tricky because it can change, right? If you don't have your natural hair color, like I obviously don't have my natural hair color, because I don't want to really see my natural hair color right now. My original natural hair color was kind of ashy dishwater blonde, so more cool. So when you look at hair tones, you're going to have either cooler or warmer tones in hair color. Okay, so here are some examples of brunette, cool, neutral, warm. So do you see how that cool almost has think about cool colors. If you're not familiar, cool colors lean more towards blues, the pinks, those undertones. So think about like water, the ocean, cool tones. Warm tones are more like the sun. So yellow, oranges, golden, silver is more of the cool. Gold, like Lindsay was talking about, is more of the warms. So you can see that warmth in the bottom picture, and then neutral middle, and then cooler. Can you see that? So that's for brunettes. Now, what about those of us that are not brunettes? Here we go. Here's your warm undertone blondes. So warm undertone blondes tend to have more of that golden tone to their hair. That cool middle is very in right now. That very kind of almost like leaning towards that lavender, very cool silver color. Love that, tricky to get. And then that more neutral, you can see it's a little bit of a mixture there, a little bit more ashy, on that neutral side. So there's your hair color. Now let's talk about the differences. The differences as far as like the ranges. Like when you're looking at your hair color, think about golds, think about blues and see what you see. But here's something that we have to pay attention to as this identifier. Hair can take precedence over your skin tone. So for example, for me, for my skin tone is definitely more cool. I have a lot of pink undertones in my skin. I'll burn first. I do tan, but I do burn first. My hair, though, is a little bit warm. It's warmer than I like it right now because of just when I had it done. So I like it to be a little more icy. I like it to be a little bit cooler, but I don't always get that in when I get it done. So right now my hair is a little bit warmer, but it still has that kind of cool tone that I bring in because of what I use in my hair. So you guys, when you're balancing these two, you have to look at what takes precedence. So like, here's an example. You saw Michaela earlier. Michaela has more skin tone, actually a little bit like mine. It's a little bit more pink undertone, but her hair, and that's her natural hair color. Isn't it beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
And that beautiful red overtakes the pinkness, right? So that warmth of her red hair overtakes the pinkness or the coolness of her skin, which makes her an autumn. My hair and my skin tone balance enough because there's not enough difference between the two. Her red hair really overtakes her skin tone. Mine doesn't. So I stay in that cool category, in that summer category, even though my hair is a little bit warm right now. I could lean it towards that neutral. Okay, does that make sense, you guys? So if there's a lot of contrast between skin tone and hair color, then the one that takes over the most is going to win out if one's cool and one's warm. All right. So those of us that get to change our hair, that want to change your hair, then just be aware of that when you're playing with your beauty season. All right. So now we're going to talk eye color and bring it all together after that.
Okay. Is your brain like, or some of you are probably loving this. If you're artists, you're like, I love color. I'm all about this. So it's okay if this takes you a couple times to get. I definitely share the feeling. So, and this is, you guys, this is really helpful because it's going to transcend not just your makeup, but like your wardrobe, other things. You're going to have a better eye for things because the minute you become aware of something, now you see it more, right? So it's going to help you. Even if you are not perfect, when you get dressed or you're putting on the lipstick, you can be like, is this the best choice? So with your eye color, I mean, obviously everyone knows their eye color. That's not hard to figure out. But the intensity of your eye color, or if you get into color theory and you start talking about, the depth and the chroma and you're like, so many options, which is fun for some, and you can keep going there. But what you really this is going to help us with is knowing how high of a contrast you have in some of your features. So if you have eyes that really stand out, and that's the thing people are always like, oh my gosh, your eyes are this, or if it's more like subtle and everything kind of blends in a little bit more with your skin. If you have eyes that kind of are not far off from your skin and then they're not far off from your lip color, you're more of a muted tone, versus if you have that brightness and that pop. This matters because it's going to help decide how you're going to intensify your colors to counter that and what you're able to wear. So do your eyes really shine on their own, or is that not your prominent feature? What are some of the other things? The other thing you can tell too in eyes, I heard, was with the cool and the warm, is if you have gold flecks in your eyes, that tends to be more of a warm thing. So that's where the eyes are going to help, is to determine if you're going to go one way or the other. When you get to the bottom of like, okay, here's the options. And we have a cool image we're going to show you. I forget if it's next, but you'll see it when we get there. So when you put all those things together, Michaela's going to talk about that, I think, and show the chart of how that helps. But your eyes will really determine kind of it's the icing on the package. Okay. It's I heard someone say the other day, they're like, wow, that color really wears her. So you're not going to go to dark colors if they're going to overtake. The goal is not that your eyeshadow or that your cheek color or lip color walk in the room before you, but that you notice the features. Does that make sense? So if you've ever looked at someone, you're like, wow, that's a lot of eyeshadow, right? It's probably not the right depth to the colors they're wearing, or at least in that situation. And perhaps like it goes back to what Lenny said. Well, they like it, so they're rocking it, and that's great too. But if you're like, well, I'm just doing that because I don't know what to do, there actually is an amount you put on. And somebody talked about on here, it was Lizzie who said, I want to be one of those girls who rocks a bold lip color. Someone else said, I want to find a bold color and make it look good. And both of those are exactly what we want to talk about, because you can go darker or deeper in your colors. And if you have more muted features, so meaning you don't have super standout features that are high contrast with your skin and your hair, you might be somebody who could go with like a really subtle eye, but a more bold lip. Or if you are doing a more bold eye, then you need to go with a subtle lip. Some color structures can wear bold everything, and it's like more is more. But even if you see that look on someone and you love it, it doesn't mean it's best for you, because that's not how it's going to help your features shine. So, Michaela, why don't you add a little bit more to that? Because I know you're going to make it make sense with your beautiful images that you made.
Yes. Okay. So I have a pretty simple. It's similar to the one you might have seen. But let me put it up for us here. And this is just gonna make it. There we go. So this is gonna make it kind of like a roadmap of like, where do I start? I know each of these pieces, but where do I start? So you'll want to start with your skin tone and think, okay, was I cool or was I warm? And from there, you'll look at your hair color. And so you'll notice there's blondes on both sides, brunettes on both sides. So you'll want to think about what Stephanie said of like, do I have a cooler brown? Do I have a warmer blonde? And then there's some things like gray and red that just automatically flow into a season. And that's where I learned a lot, because I have very cool skin. I burn like you wouldn't believe. And so I always was like, well, I'm over on this side, but that's not the case. I'm actually red. So I'm warm. So you'll look at your hair color, and then you'll look at your eyes, and not just your eyes, but all of your features of like Lindsay was saying, like, are my features popping? Like, are my eyes, do they look like they're just glowing from within and they're very bright? Or is it that they're a little more muted? I have very muted olive green eyes. And so there's not a lot of like popping happening on my face, which even makes me more of that autumn. And so as you kind of go through this, you can think through, which off ramps am I taking here? And you'll end up either in summer, winter, spring, or autumn. And so I'm going to show you hide this there. I'm going to show you some examples, because sometimes that really helps, is just to see another gal, a celebrity that you're like, oh, I look like that. So, I have similar features to her. And so maybe I'm in that category. So first with summer. So these are some summer examples. And you'll notice that these gals have cooler undertones and cooler hair tones. You'll notice they're not all blondes. We've got some brunettes in there. And it's because they've got that cooler brown. And they've also got very subtle features. And so they're not like, they don't have those big bright blue eyes necessarily. Their lip shades tend to be a little bit more subtle. And so those are our summer gals. And those gals are going to look really good. Here's some examples of some different colors. These are our summer gals. They're looking really good in like those cool, like pinks and, a little bit of reds, but very cool. We don't want to go warm with our summer girls. Next are the winters. And winters are also cool, very similar to summers, but they have high contrast features. So they usually have darker, cooler hair, but then you can tell their eyebrows are darker. They've got popping eyes. And they just can really take on those bright colors. And it doesn't look like the color is wearing them. They can really handle the bright color and not look like it's too much. And so in winter colors, you'll find a lot of deep jewel shades. They can really rock a hot pink lip, like a paparazzi pink. I tried that lip shade and that did not look good on me, I'll tell you that. So some spring examples. So now we're getting into the warm undertones, that warm skin tones. And springs have that warm undertone, and they have bright features. So they usually have very bright eyes, very bright pink natural lips. They usually have a little bit more pop in eyebrows. And you'll notice there's some redheads on here. So of course I'm going to speak to the redheads because that's what I have looked up the most. But with red hair, it comes down to the eyes when it comes to like spring and autumn of like, are your eyes really bright? Can you really hold on and like wear that color well? Similar to the winters. Does it look like you're wearing the color or is the color wearing you? And springs can really rock a bright color. And then our last season is our autumns. And so these are very warm undertones, warm overtones, and you have much more subtle features. So much more subtle eye colors. Their brows usually match their hair color really well or match their skin tone really closely. And they just have a general kind of like warmth glow. So as you look at those, you might have a better idea. And if you're like, yes, I think I know what I am, then tell your consultant because she has an awesome guide for you. And this guide is going to go into, why are you that season? What colors should you wear, clothes wise, makeup wise? And it has recommendations for specific lipstick shades, specific eyeshadow shades. And we have some deals on that here in a little bit. So you can get those for a steal, which is like the best of both worlds. It's all you could want. So, but if you're not sure, okay? So if you're not sure, you're like, I don't know, in my summer or my spring, then that's a great reason to talk to your consultant because she can help you figure that out. Both with conversation, maybe she's like, oh girl, you're definitely a spring. Or she can send you some samples to try out. You can try some foundation swatching. And she can help you get to the bottom of it so that you're not, stuck in the middle of the process, not sure where you land. Your consultant is there to help you. All right. So I talked about those steals and deals. And so now Lindsay is going to give you all the details on how you can get some new favorites into your bathroom.
Sure am. I love a deal. Well, Michaela, I love what you're saying because I think one of my favorite things as a woman is to be able to add value to other people and other women. And so however you got invited here, we want you to be able to take this information and apply it to your current bathroom even and look at what you already have and say, okay, this gotta go. She gotta go. She gotta stay. And then say, ooh, I have a hole here. I don't have my like best lipstick. I have some okay ones, but I don't have my best one. And the guide, you guys, is absolutely amazing. It's like you'd have to pay a lot of money for something like that. And so Michaela made these, put them together. She is an absolute creative genius and they are gorgeous. So if that didn't make sense, what you need to do is text the consultant that invited you and say, hey, I'm a summer. Hey, I'm an autumn. Hey, I'm a whatever. And she's going to send you your personalized guide. So if you don't know, you'll book the time to connect with her. And then you guys will get the guide from that. But just want to make sure you understand that. So as far as your starting place, if you're someone who's like, okay, I'm like entry level, like I brush my teeth when it comes to makeup. Like I don't floss. I don't get crazy. I just brush my teeth, right? You need a basic set look that is your safe go-to all the time. And so what I really love is our Seasons Beauty Bundle that comes in a perfect palette. And you're going to get, so here's mine. It's easier to see in the picture Michaela has there, but it's that size. So it's awesome. The mirror is large enough to utilize whether you're on the go or you just have it in your purse or in your bathroom. But you're going to get the palette itself, 6 eyeshadows, a blush, a contour, an eyeliner, a lip liner, a lipstick, and a lip gloss. Now, this is customized to you. So here's the beauty. Are you ready for this? You could literally text your gal and go, hey, I'm a blue-eyed blank, whatever season you are. And she'll be like, great, here's what you need. Boom, done. You don't have to pick out the colors. It's done for you. If you're someone who likes to pick out your colors, we in the guide have for you not just 6, but actually a whole plethora of your best colors. And you could personally pick out your 6 colors. So you can be the girl who likes choices or who wants someone to make it for you. What's really cool about our palettes is everything is magnetic. So you guys know, when you bought a palette when you were younger, what color did you always run out of first? The light one, right? You do not have to toss this whole thing. Mary Kay is recycle friendly. We take care of the environment. 0% landfill status. We're on it with all those good things. And so when you run out of one color, you can trade out just that one color. Same with your cheek color or contour. Or if you want to add something new in and switch up your look all the time. So this is your one-stop shop for I want one color. And the beauty of if you decide to purchase with Mary Kay, maybe you have your favorites, like she talked about, colors that you're utilizing. But when you use Mary Kay product, what I am a fan of with our colors is how well the pigments work. And with our mineral shadows and cheek colors, they're so buildable. So you can take those colors that look good on you and add depth if you need an evening look, if it's a work, if it's this. So you could have 6 shadows and really get everything you need out of that if you're kind of basic. That's kind of how I like to roll. I have like a couple things I change up, but I'm not creative when it comes to makeup. In my bathroom, though, I also have like a ginormous palette, which is called our Pro palette. Mine has my name on it because I don't want anyone taking it. But it comes with not that on it. And you can fill it with all the colors. So when you grab that guide, you'll see you're like, well, I don't want one of the cheeks. I want all the cheek options. If you like options, it is kind of like getting dressed, right? There's people who like wear the same certain things and people are like, I'm going to go with how I feel. It should be the same in your color wardrobe. So if you want all of them, you can get all of them. So we have those options as well. If you're straightforward shooter with, I just want this to your gal of like eye color and season, this is normally $162, including the lipstick, lip gloss, eyeliner, lip liner, that photo. But you'll get it for $149 from our workshop deal. So text that to your gal. She'll help you get it. She'll send you the link to shop, etc. And you can ask her how you could earn it at a discount too, if you love steals and deals. If you want, and if you don't have to stick with just that, so you could add on like a couple extra eyeshadows, or if you need a mascara or whatever else, you're low on your skincare, she can hook you up. Another thing to note is if you're needing help matching your foundation shade, when you purchase this, make sure you let her know, because she can easily add samples of foundation and schedule you for that virtual foundation appointment, which will not only help your foundation look better or best. Maybe you're like, no, it looks good, but you want to test and just be like, I don't know, let's try it out. Because I can tell you this, if you are using anything from a department store, you can maybe spend more, but you cannot buy better. Mary Kay foundation, like, I love playing this game with people. I'm like, what do you wear? How much do you spend? I can beat it. And every time I beat it. So chat with your gal about that. And then if you want more, let her know that as well. All right, Steph, back to you.
I was thinking about what Michaela said, and then just what you said too, Lindsay, about connecting with your consultant. And I believe that we have a special for those of you that want to take it even a little further. Okay, good. I'm not jumping ahead, am I, Michaela? I hope I didn't. Hope I didn't jump ahead, but I will go back to where I was on our agenda. But I wanted you guys to know about this. This is an eye care kit that is a gift that is from us. For those of you that liked what you saw here, but you want to do it with your friends, alone, like you and your friends. And this can be something you can talk to your specific consultant about. Some consultants do virtuals, some don't, some do in-persons. And it depends on who you're talking to. Where are your friends? If they're all over the nation, would you want to put together a fun workshop like this that your consultant can host for you and teach you and your friends, and involve some samples and so forth too. So you would get this eye care kit as a gift when you book and hold, and your consultant may have some qualifications that go along with that, some sales qualifications and such that she can talk to you about. You would get our award-winning, #1 selling oil-free eye makeup remover that is amazing. You'll get that as a gift. And then our hydrogel eye patches also, which I've missed so much. I was in Sun Valley, Idaho last week, and it's so dry there compared to where I live. And I didn't bring my eye patches, and oh my gosh, I've missed them so much. My eyes have not, it's going to take weeks to recover. I love that product. They're so hydrating, and they just infuse moisture immediately. They're soothing, they're cooling, they help with puffiness, all the things, you guys. It's a great pack, a great kit. Okay, so I want to make sure that we didn't forget that. You have watched 4 women from completely different seasons of life and ages time in Mary Kay, lifestyles, all the different things that we are. We love each other so much, though. And maybe we have sparked a new thought in you. Like maybe this is new for you, what you're watching us do here. Maybe you had some preconceived ideas of what Mary Kay was like and what a Mary Kay business is like. And maybe there's that spark of an idea. I can tell you when I was first introduced to Mary Kay, sitting across the table from the woman who shared Mary Kay products with me 34, almost 35 years ago, it sparked an idea in me because I had a need for extra cash. I was a special education teacher. I had this need. So I had this pain in my life where my student loans were coming due and I was going to need to be making some money, but I was a brand new teacher. How was I going to navigate that? And then she introduced me to the products and I watched what she was doing and I had this spark of an idea, And I asked her, what, can you really make money doing this? Because it was a new thought for me. And of course she was like, yeah, and then she told me her background. And then I did a little bit more research and I asked a lot of questions. And here I am 34 years later, who would have known, right? By that one spark of a new thought. So maybe that's happened to you tonight where you've sparked this new thought. Maybe it's not that you're looking for extra cash, though we're rolling into a season that's coming up and it's going to be an expensive one for all of us. All of the prices that have been going up and we're headed into the holiday season. So maybe that is part of it. Or maybe you're looking for what you're seeing here with these women, these amazing women that I get to work with. I'm so grateful. The community that is positive and growth minded. Maybe that's something that you're looking for. Maybe it's that you've been looking at, I want to do something e-commerce. I want to do some sort of social media, connected social ads, whatever it is that you've been thinking about when it comes to a new business. Now there's this proven product that we make great income from. Here we are. And there's that spark of a thought. Maybe I can take that into e-commerce. Yes, you can, because Mary Kay has equipped us to do that. So there might be lots of different reasons that we sparked a thought. Here's something I want you to watch that might just take you even a little further down in that thought process.
Ready to enter your Mary Kay era? For a limited time, you can start an iconic beauty business for $10. Obsessed with skincare, self-care, and makeup? Imagine turning your passions into a small business that's all about making meaningful connections, supporting your community, and achieving personal growth. Just think, instead of sharing selfies that benefit other beauty brands, you could be influencing your own beauty business and earning extra income. The best part? This opportunity just fits your life, whatever stage or phase you're in. Whether you're a college student hustling to make extra money, a hardworking mom who wants to spread her wings, a 9-to-5er looking for freedom and flexibility, or anything in between, Mary Kay can help you make this your best era yet. Hear why these independent Salesforce members entered their Mary Kay eras.
To be a Mary Kay products queen, to earn extra income,
to be an entrepreneur,
to connect with a supportive community.
With the Mary Kay business, you're empowered to earn up to 50% profit on everything you sell when you place a $225 wholesale product order or more. And with the Mary Kay personal website, your business is always open, giving professional, accessible vibes. So, who's ready to invest $10 in untapped potential and possibilities? Don't miss this epic chance to enter your best era yet.
I love that. I love that era, that just your best era yet. Here's something that I remember. I don't know if somebody said it to me or if I heard it when I was checking Mary Kay out a little bit more, but I remember hearing if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you got. And that just hit me so strong at that point in my life, knowing where I wanted to go, but I couldn't see a path in doing what I was doing. So I needed to make a change. So I had that idea that was sparked. So we hope that has happened for you. The other thing that I just want to say, it's $10 right now. It's usually $35 to get started in Mary Kay business. And then there's a kit that you can get if you choose to. But I hesitate a little bit even saying it's $10 because I never want to devalue our opportunity. Our opportunity is so valuable. Our iconic company started by a woman like Mary Kay Ash at a time that we are in our world right now. It so fits so beautifully. But at the same time, what a great opportunity, right? To start something really and even say risk-free for $10. So we hope that we sparked a little thought with you. Maybe it's for somebody else that you had that idea, or maybe it's for yourself. So I appreciate you taking a moment to watch that. We're going to have Michaela come back on, wrap it up, and tell you about what's coming next. And then we all get to show off our palettes.
Yes. All right. So if there was anything you have questions about tonight, then make sure you connect with your consultant, whichever one of us you recognize on the screen or whoever invited you. She is there to help you and help you be your best you. So our next workshop, we're going to have more workshops to help us be our best. But this time we're talking skincare, because our makeup can only be as good as our skincare is. You can't, it's like, I don't know if you guys have ever like tried to get buff before, like way back when I was in my 20s. I might have tried, but you can't outwork what you do in the kitchen, right? You can't out makeup your skincare. And so we're going to be talking about how to keep your skin hydrated and happy, so that whether you want to put on a little bit of makeup or a lot of makeup, you are glowing. All right, so that's our next workshop. Your consultant will send you all the details, and I'll kick us off. This is my palette that I chose tonight, and you'll see these are well loved. You can see which one I'm going to need to replace first. So I've got my Cinnabar, my Hazelnut, my Gold Status, and my Crystalline. All of those go with my red hair. All right, and then I'll bring these gals back on. They can highlight what their palettes are.
Why don't you go next, Lenny? And then Lindsay.
I have my palette, and it is filled with some great winter shades. I actually have blue eyeshadow on tonight, as well as Desert Rose cheek color, which was never usually in my palette. So those are my fun colors for winter.
Ooh, I love it, Lenny.
Ooh, I love blue. It doesn't even look blue. It just like looks really frosty. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
Here's my palette, and I am wearing spring colors. Obviously, it's a spring. But something I think that's really cool is like certain eyeshadows, they might even look one way to you on here, but when they're the right ones and you put them on, it looks totally different than you expect. And what it does to your eyes is the moneymaker. So that's why, it's not like, oh, it's brown. It's the undertone that's going to cause things to pop and not to look blotchy and blah. So grab yours from your consultant. You'll love it.
And mine is the summer shade. So you can see I got a little bit of that rose tone in there. I got to back it up. Okay, get it closer. I got my portrait on. Okay, so this brown right here is called espresso. So it's a blue brown. So what Lindsay was just talking about. It's that undertone that has a little bit more of those cool undertones, but not too dark. Like you saw Lenny's darker undertones, blue undertones or cool undertones versus mine. So we thank you so much for coming tonight and joining us. We hope you learned a lot. Our goal is always to add value to your life, to make your life a little simpler, a little sassier, a little spicier, a little more wonderful. What else did we have? And a little more awesome. Did I get everybody's?
Mm-hmm.
I got it right. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read the fine print. I love you all so much. I appreciate you so much for bringing your best to us. And you guys have a wonderful night. Reach out to your consultant. Be sure you tell her your season, or if you're not sure, because you really, truly do want to get one of those guides. We're all just like raving about the guides. We're like, Michaela, these guides are money. They're so amazing.
Good. So good. Bye, guys.
So thank you.
Bye,
everybody.